Welcome to, is that right? No, it's never right. I have a 50-50 shot of this every morning. You'd think I'd practice. Welcome to Fantastic Tuesday, Befriending the Body Scan Tuesday, Total Transformation Tuesday, and our last Transformational Tuesday of the season. I just want to welcome you all to it. We are going to do our standard meditation and guide ourselves through the body and see if we can start to use ourselves as a barometer to kind of feel our way back to the moment, to kind of guide ourselves to notice when we're feeling stressed, notice what is there. Much like our mindfulness definition, which I'll give you again. We're not going to try to force anything that's not there or force feeling or try to move things. We're just going to notice what arises when we pay attention on purpose in the moment, non-judgmentally. And that's our mindfulness definition, to pay attention on purpose in the moment, non-judgmentally. And the non-judgmentally is the hardest part because we have opinions, evaluations, and judgments about everything. And if you're like me, you're extremely reactive. We're reactive by nature. If someone slights us, we immediately go into that reactive mode. And one of the things the body scan does for me is help loosen up not only my expectations on what I think is really happening in the moment, but it loosens me up to be a little bit more mentally flexible in my interactions with people. It gives me that little bit of space, not only between my thoughts, but the spaces in the body, to be able to not react, to go into that restful awareness mode instead of always tripping into that reactive mode. So let us get started. Find your most comfortable seat, whether that's laying down, laying in your bed, laying on the floor, laying on a mat, sitting straight up. We'll go through the body and then we'll close with some a few closing sutras that we will set some intentions for the rest of our day and the rest of our week. So we can get started, and you can gently close your eyes. Start by taking a deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Really let it fill up the lungs, holding it at the top. Go ahead, let it out. Really notice how you physically feel right now. Let's do that again. A deep breath in. Hold it at the top. We take the breath for granted unless we're sick or have breathing issues. Let it go through the mouth. The breath is always coming and going. Let your breath just go back to that. Coming and going, in and out. Noticing the pause. Suzuki Roshi used to say it's like the doorsill between awareness, that little area between awake and sometimes asleep. The breath can serve as a convenient doorway back to the present moment because it's always coming and going, swinging back and forth. And so on your next inhale, if you like, imagine that you can see a glowing light coming in through the nose as you deeply breathe in. I want you to send that in through the nose. Let it wash down the neck, the shoulders, the torso. Send that energy, that information. Let's bring our energy down to our feet. It's almost like shining a flashlight of awareness onto our feet. So the beam is on the feet, and we're just noticing what's there. So a few things you may notice. You can notice some tingling, vibrational quality. Sometimes I feel sensation in one foot stronger than the other, and that's okay too. Sometimes there's no awareness at all, and I like to say awareness of non-awareness is still awareness. And so imagine you can take an air from the soles of your feet, letting that air come in on the inhale, filling them up to the ankles. And as you gently exhale, I want you to silently think the word soften. We let go of our attention there. When we bring it up a little bit higher, let's explore the calves, the shins, the knees. Again, noticing what's there. You can notice if there's awareness in one over the other. The calves could feel tight, warm, cool. Notice the air on the shin bones. Fabric of the clothing stretched over the knees, or the knees could feel sore, loose, tight. And so again, imagine you can take in that air from the bottom of your feet. Let's send that energy up all the way to the knee on the inhale. And as you gently exhale, just silently thinking the words letting go. Let that energy dissolve. You can let it ride back down out the tips of your toes. And on the next inhale, bringing our attention up a little bit higher to include the quads, the hips, the hamstrings. At the very least, hopefully you're feeling the pressure on the backs of the legs, the temperature between the legs and the seat. And dialing in, see if you can go deeper. Can you feel any of those muscles deep within the quads? Do they feel heavy, tight? Can you feel the fabric of your clothing? Do the hips feel tight? Can you feel any constriction in the waistband, lower part of the back? And again, sending that energy up from the bottom of the feet all the way up to the hips. On the inhale, on the exhale, silently thinking the words dissolve. Just let that stress, that tension dissolve back down the legs, out the tips of your toes. And let's see if we can now gather our attention. Let's wake up our awareness in the lower part of the back, so the spine. You can wrap it around to the abdomen. Just noticing what's there. Can you bring your attention deep within the muscles in the middle part of the back or the rib cage? Feel the lungs and the solar plexus. Feel the body settle as you gently exhale. And guiding that attention up a little bit higher, we can include the upper part of the chest, so right up into the neck, the shoulders, shoulder blades. Here's where I tend to carry a lot of my stress and tension throughout my day. So here, as I gently breathe in, I notice anything that's tight, temperature, clothing. As I exhale, I silently think the words letting go. And again, each time we think the words letting go, it has a way of dislodging some of that physical stress I might be carrying there that I'm not aware of. It wakes up my awareness to the fact that I could be holding or I could be constricted in those areas. So on the out breaths, let your attention soften, particularly around the neck. And on that next inhale, if you like, send that energy down past the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, and this time let it wash down both arms. And just for a moment, let's let some awareness sit in our hands. Is there awareness in one over the other? Or generalized awareness in both? Sometimes I can feel that tingling or some type of vibrational quality in the hands, the temperature, the individual fingers, the fingernails, backs of the hands. Just noticing what's there. And then guiding our awareness back up the forearms, noticing if they feel tight. The elbows. You can practice softening around the biceps and the triceps. Notice if they're pulling down on the shoulders. And then circling back to the shoulders, that neck area, right up until the jaw, to the jawbone. Noticing if that area feels any different than it did maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago. Each exhale, we're softening. Keep in mind that the secret is in the spaces. All of our secrets are in the spaces between our thoughts, spaces between our different body parts. We can move up to the jawbone. And here I will manually move it around. I tend to clench and grind my teeth at night, so I will manually move it around and bring some awareness to the very backs of my ears. They feel warm, cool. And then with just a subtle shift of intention, you can turn your attention to all the sounds you hear right now, whether it's my voice, the singing bowls, some noise in your own external environment, and see if you can take all of that awareness and bring it all the way into your inner ears. And then go ahead, bring it back out to the cheeks. Feel the air on the bridge of the nose, maybe. The temperature of the chin. Can you soften around the forehead, the eyebrows? And what is the temperature of the eyes? The eyelids feel heavy, warm. Is there any awareness at the very back of your head? Maybe it's the pressure between the head and the mat. And then bring that attention to the very top of your head. At the very top of your head, I want you to imagine that you have a hole about the size of a quarter, much like a whale or dolphin can breathe in from the very top of the head. We can use the breath, pull it in through the top of our heads and send it down to wash down any last bits of physical stress and have it kind of recede back like a wave into the ocean out the tips of our toes. So we're breathing in gently. Imagine we can pull it in, softening around the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. As you begin to exhale, send that energy and information down the torso, down the hips, the legs, pulling out any last bits of physical stress all the way out the tips of your toes. And then just sitting here, floating, let your attention go wherever it wants. You can observe your body as a whole. You can notice if you're maybe a little bit more relaxed than say you were 15, 20 minutes ago. Or maybe more aware of how you feel, whether that's more amped up. But just knowing that every time we sit together, or every time you sit in meditation, no matter how you feel, whether that's more restless or more relaxed, or maybe a combination of both, you're still sending that powerful signal to your brain, to yourself, that you matter. It's a powerful nutrition for the mind, the body. It's our spiritual food. So no matter how you feel right now, just become aware of that emotional content. We'll bring our attention back to the breath. And for a few moments, we'll stabilize our attention either in the nostrils, the chest, or the abdomen, just to kind of finish up, bring a little bit more of that stability. We'll make that the anchor. We'll notice when we drift away from our anchor, we'll become aware of whatever that is. We'll practice letting it go, come back to our anchor. So first we need to create the anchor. We'll either do that in the nostrils, the chest, or the abdomen. Let's start at the tip of the nose. Breathing in, noticing the air come in through the nostrils. Pause. Notice the pressure releasing. And see if you can stabilize your attention in the nose just for 1 or 2 breaths. Okay, bring our energy down. Same thing with the chest, breathing in, breathing out. Notice the rise and fall. Just take a moment for a few breaths, rise and fall. Finally, bring our energy down to the abdomen. Feel that expansion and the dissolving. Breathing in, letting go. So go ahead, pick one. We'll lightly focus our awareness there for just a minute or so. Notice if you're distracted. Bring your attention back gently. Want to be relaxed, but focused, but not rigid. Okay, with our eyes still closed, let go of our practice. We'll just rest. Let's bring our attention to our chest area, right where the solar plexus are. We'll set some intentions for today. So as I repeat some intentions, let's silently repeat them together. Desire. Desire. Intention. Intention. A willingness. Willingness. And destiny. Destiny. So in the book, The Upanishads, it's one of the most famous statements is you are your deepest driving desire. And as is your desire, so is your intention. As is your intention, so is your will. As is your will, so is your deed. As is your deed, so is your destiny. So take a moment. If you took this meditation in Shavasana, you can gently roll to one side. And then making your way back to a seated position when it's comfortable. Go ahead and gently open your eyes. Namaste.